on your solar panels. They're lighter, they're not stinky, they're not as loud. I don't need to feed them, right? There's a little higher investment. I don't know, this was total, all investment $200, and this was much more than that. But they have a place. Now, myself personally, if I was to get a home generator that would be for my home or for something that I would use, I would either get something small and mobile or something that I'd try to power my house with. That would be a tri-fuel generator, which would take natural gas, propane, and gasoline or diesel. I get a tri-fuel, that's me personally. I also get one that would be on wheels. I can pack up and move it around if I want to. But there's also advantages to a fixed home system that can run on natural gas or propane. So do some research, think it through. How do you want to use it? What do you want it to do? That's why I went through the math, so you know what you want it to do. You want it to run your freezer, your dryer, I don't know, it's kind of their picks too, right? But be mindful of what you expect your equipment to do for the technology you want it to operate. I keep repeating that, but that's key. It's unfortunate to have an appliance you want to operate, you buy technology to operate it, and it's not enough. It's just like trying to buy a Prius, you put a big boat behind it, right? Pull it up Parleys. Will it go? No, won't go. That's the concept we're trying to get in our minds in this class today. When I first asked, what do you want to have operate? A lot of people said a freezer, a refrigerator. Okay, that's the boat. What are you going to use to pull it with? You can't buy a Prius to do it. Okay, right. Any questions about generator? All right. Do some research. There's a lot of information about generators on the market. Even go talk to some salesmen. They're very helpful. Okay, yes.
How many dimensions do the back of that generator and battery?
I should have turned it off first.
It's off now.
It's off now. Just plugs in. It comes with it. It comes all ready to do it. Of course, this is a little added feature I'd recommend. Get your power strip, because they come with generally only 1 or 2 outlets on it. And I like to have, if it's possible, multiple small things going at the same time. And so I have a strip that I can plug in multiple things. Several cell phones. This easily charge cell phones, easily operate laptops, and even a larger computer. This will easily do that. Okay? All right. Any other questions?
Comments.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
If you're looking for a solar system, and you can find better charge controllers out there that are desulfators, which will actually condition the battery at the same time that will charge the battery. The issue with your battery is usually that the lead acid plates will get build up on them, and if you can use a desulfator charger, that'll take and clean those plates at the same time and make your batteries last much longer. Depending on what you're running and the length of your run, and there's a voltage drop, also a loss of power. So depending on how far your runs are and how much power you're using, you may have to size up your wire accordingly. There's something else I was going to comment on. There are also other inverters that don't use as much power in the conversion, so look at those as well when you're looking to size up your thing. When you're looking for solar, there's another little outlet that you can use. It's almost like your little plug-in timer. It's called Kilowatt. If you're trying to find out how much power consumption certain items use, they're 120 power, you'll actually plug that into the wall and then plug that into this little thing called a kilowatt, and it'll tell you actually how much power that specific item is using. So it can help you do some of the math that you want to do.
Yes, and those are really nice. They're about $30 though.
Yeah.
Okay. But definitely, if it's something that you're really interested in, I'd get one of those. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's spend a few minutes on wind. Wind power. I've always been fascinated with wind power. I think it's great technology. Technology's coming along. They're far more efficient today than they've ever been in the past. A 5,000 watt windmill in your backyard is about this wide. So if you can imagine the blades, 3 of them spinning, something like this, that's fine. They have to be up higher than we would like to have, but that they're available. I've seen some where a person has created a pole, created a plate. When he goes camping, he'll drive his truck, tie it onto the plate, fasten the pole to the side of his truck. He now has a mast and his wind power, his windmill, up on the pole. So they're versatile, they're usable. Just for fun, I went to see through one of the websites I have listed here, what is the capability of Utah for wind? You know, what about wind power in Utah? How good is it? What's the capabilities? And it's very poor for most of the state. Very few exceptions. There are small spaces here and there. You know, along the West Desert by Wendover, that's pretty good, or better. Of course, Spanish Fork Canyon was good at the very mouth. Overall, not so hot. South Jordan used to be very windy at one time. Wind all the time. But not as much anymore. I think because they took out half the mountain in front of the point of the mountain there. So they used to funnel it down, and South Jordan was very windy. I used to think it was a great place to be for a windmill, but not many anymore. So there is wind available to you. It's not as efficient because we're not in a windy place. Like we lived on the coastline, or maybe the beautiful place of Wyoming, in the top plains. You can go live there for wind. It's a great place. So anyways, I'm not going to talk a lot about wind because we just don't really live in a windy spot, especially with all the large trees which are around. You have to dip above them to be really efficient. But they are available. I have some websites there to go take a look at. Please go do so. It's kind of fun, kind of interesting. All right. I think I am out of things to say. Yes?
When we did Goal Zero, I heard a lot of people that were planning on using their generators for their emergency needs. And something that I think people haven't calculated, and that if you are planning on using a generator to power a lot of your stuff versus solar energy, I would do the math on the amount of gas you would want to store to power things. I think that's the thing that people leave out of the equation. You can't store gas for long periods of time. You cannot store a large amount of gas.
There's limitations of how much gas can be legally stored on a piece of property. So, as I recall, it's no more than, gosh, I used to remember this, like 25 gallons?
30 gallons. In Salt Lake County, it's
30
30 gallons in an attached building, and you can do another 30 gallons in an unattached,
Okay,
detached.
so I was
And that
off a little
doesn't
bit,
count
I
what's
knew
in your
that.
car.
So 30 gallons in the attached building and 30 more gallons in the other attached. So this takes a gallon, just over a gallon of gas to operate for 12 hours. Let's do the math. Okay, so 30 gallons, I got 15, for both of those, for 30 and 30, right? That gives me 15 days of solid operation. It's not bad. 15 days. Hopefully the event should be over by then, and I won't use it all that time. One thing you should be aware though is that it will always have ready 2,000 watts, but you only charge your cell phone at 5 watts. You know, we're throwing away a lot of energy. Okay, I think I'm done. That's it. Thank you for coming to class tonight.